Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there? Um, I found some little bit of importance for this video today, so I'm gonna try my best to get my point across and bring out this information out of my mind to give it to you all. So what inspired me to make this video today is that understanding how me myself personally, how can I say this? I made a change in my life. I became a totally different person. So I was born again, right? The old person is gone. He's not never coming back. And realizing that I went through different stages of elevation, elevating mentally to become who I am today, and still have so far to go. So what I'm realizing is that it's a lot of people that's oh man, y'all probably can see my dirty mirror. I probably should have cleaned it. My kids put their hands all on it. Where was I at? Oh yes, a lot of people coming into knowledge today, and they finding out in themselves that they want to do something different. They're finding an urge inside of themselves that's telling themselves that, you know, you can be better, you can do better. So they're starting to make changes. And that change that you're going through, that's the first level. That's level one. And what I just want to put out there is to let people know that, you know, there's always higher levels to get. You know, it's just, if you change your diet, you know, it just don't stop there. That's the purification process to prepare you, along with changing your diet, right? You know, a lot of people are going vegetarian and going vegan now. It's like becoming popular. It was like pretty much becoming popular when I started. I think I've been pretty much wrestling with vegan and vegetarianism for about 3 years now, and I feel really good. I feel really good about myself, and I inspire people in my life, you know, people that I come across, because I changed my thoughts and my mind. Now I'm beginning to change the overall reality around me. You see what I'm saying? I'm even invoking changes in people, just like the people that invoke change in me. You know, I guess that's the good process of this thing. So what I want people to understand is that when you begin to purify your body, along with that, you should be having the urge to gain knowledge. And you should be studying like hell. You should be addicted to learning. And you should be addicted to getting knowledge yourself. That's the first level. Now, when you take all of that in and you purify yourself and you're getting all this knowledge and you're learning knowledge yourself, now when knowledge actually changes you. When you change, right, and you mutate and become born again, now you entered in level 2. You see what I'm saying? Now you entered in level 2. Now see, some people, the knowledge don't change them. Some people get the knowledge and it does nothing for them. They like, so, you know what I'm saying? Pass me the blunt. You know what I'm saying? What's up? You know, not saying that I don't smoke, I don't drink, you know what I mean? But not down to anybody that do, you know. But I you know, I would like you to understand that, you know, if you just sitting up smoking all day, or if you have to smoke all the time, or if you have to smoke to be happy, or if you have to smoke to be fun, then maybe you should understand that, you know, this is controlling you, this is ruling you. You know, see, that's what this is all about. You know, it's understanding who you are. That's knowledge itself, understanding who you are. Because if you really knew who you were, you'll be a bad man, or bad sister. You know what I'm saying? So when this knowledge transforms you and you become born again, now you entered into level 2. And see, in level 2, that's where it gets difficult. That's where it gets difficult because a lot of people don't leave level 1. You know, some people make it to level 2, but a lot of people don't leave level 2 and make it to level 3 or even to level 4, because to leave level 2, it's dealing with mastery. You have to master yourself. You're understanding the power that you have. You're understanding you know, the knowledge of the soul. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm gonna try my best to go into this, to really go into this. You know, so this information was passed down thousands and thousands and thousands of years from the Nile Valley area. And a lot of the information that we have, where you can see where this information originated, was in Egypt. And the word Egypt really is just a mispronunciation from the Greeks of the word Het-ka-ptah. And that's how you get the word Egypt. But you really, I mean, if you really serious about this, people out there, if you really serious about really getting this knowledge and really getting this information and really becoming born again, and truly becoming conscious, you are going to have to study ancient Egypt. You're going to have to. If you're not studying ancient Egypt, you're going to be lost in the sauce. You're going to be lost in the sauce. If you're not studying ancient Egypt, I ain't saying you got to love it. I ain't saying you got to love ancient Egypt like me. You know, when I was 7 years old, or maybe younger, the first goal that I ever set for myself was, I told myself, I am going to see the pyramids in person. I'm going to walk inside of the pyramids. I'm going to see the metal netter, the hieroglyphics. I'm going to see that for myself in person. When I was 7 years old, I said I'm going to do that before I pass away, before I leave the planet. I ain't made it there yet, but it's coming. But you know, if you really want to understand this, you know, you're going to have to study that. So I'll try my best here. So in ancient Egypt, you have, of course, I say it probably in all my videos, you have the Africans there building civilizations, constructing monuments that's still with us today, that's inspired what you call secret societies. And what we find when you study, and this is just one aspect of, because the knowledge in ancient Egypt is so profound. There's so many, you know, different aspects you can go into when, you know, when it comes to the knowledge and information in ancient Egypt, because you have the history, you have the actual history, you have the actual kings and the, you know, what they call dynasties, and you know, the battles and things like that took place. You know, you have the history, then you have the mythology, you have, you know, the writings, the information that they left, you know, to kind of give you an insight on you know, who they were and how they thought. You understand what I'm saying? And so you know that's a, you know, that's a wide and big you know, it's a lot of information there. It's a lot of information there, for lack of better words. It's a lot of information there. So so what we find there is that if you look into the book, what they call the Book of the Dead, the Book of Coming Forth by Light, the Per M Heru, I hope I said that right, the Book of Coming Forth by Day. And what you find in that book, which is which was metal netter, or what they call hieroglyphics, on the coffins. That's why they call it the Book of the Dead, because it was actually written all over the coffins, you know, of the kings, or the Nusut, the Nusut Biddy, or what you would call a pharaoh. So these was instructions to the afterlife. These was instructions to the afterlife, and in order to make it to the afterlife, of course, your virtues and your deeds, they had to be correct. You had to be a righteous person, and you had to, you know, follow the laws, and you had to unlock or you had to obtain higher aspects of the soul. You had to obtain higher aspects of the soul in order to reach the afterlife. And I'll try to remember a few names of them, but I know that the body was the cot, and the shadow was the kabit. Then you had the ka, and you had the ba, and you had the sa, hu, and I want to say Kahu, or some along them lines, and the Aku, right? But then you had the Ren, that's the name. Then you had the Ak, you know, and then you had the Sekhem, which is like the power of resurrection, something similar to like Kundalini energy, for people out there to understand and know what Kundalini is. But these is different aspects of the soul that you had to obtain fully in order to make it through the afterlife, which was called the underworld, which the Neter Osiris was he was the king of the underworld. That's why when the pharaohs and people like that, when they passed over, they now call themselves Osiris, because they was going to the underworld. So when you get into information, if you study in Masonry or Christianity or the chakras, you know, the Dravidian, you know, that's what this is about. It's about you building your spiritual body. You have to build the spiritual body. And if you don't build the spiritual body, then you can't make it to the afterlife. Okay? So, you know, so once you go into what I call the first level, that's the beginning. You're starting to build your spiritual body, and once you build from there, you're actually building your spiritual body. And once you fully build your spiritual body, that's when you have fulfilled your duties here in this reality, you know. You know, so that's what it's really about in Christianity. But you got to understand that Christianity is a European version of African science. So you know, it was changed around and stuff like that. So you just have to study. If you really want to understand that aspect of it, you know, you have to study. Somebody that I really like to watch is Anthony Browder. And something I have noticed him saying recently is that this isn't for everybody. You know, this information, he understands that this isn't for everybody. And you know, and that's what I'm going to say here. You know, because I know a lot of our people, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to understand Christianity. They're not going to be able to understand Islam. You know, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. So that's what you have to do. You have to build the spiritual body. You have to build the spiritual body. And if I'm not mistaken, that's what the Temple of Solomon, the building the Temple of Solomon, in the Bible, esoterically, that's what they speaking about. You're building a temple. You're building the temple is your body. You're building the spiritual body, because once you build here in the physical, you're building the spiritual too. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what Masonry goes into. You know, it's building the character. It's not only constructing monuments, it's actually constructing, like I said, the spiritual body, and constructing right character, and forming the master mason, you know, or forming that person who obtained mastery. That's what this is about. So when you people are starting to come into knowledge and you want to purify your body and do these sorts of things, I want you to understand that, you know, this is what you have to look forward to. This is what you're getting yourself into. You're becoming accountable now. You're becoming accountable for all of your actions. You're understanding who you are as a divine being, because, you know, when you build a spiritual body, you have your higher aspect of your soul is your higher self is you know, is this higher spiritual deity that resides with you, that you must, you see my son. Say what's up.
What's up?
Say no, get in the camera, say what's up. Come on, lean over. Say what's up.
What's up?
All right, let daddy finish. So dang, I lost where I was at. So your higher self is this, it's a higher spiritual aspect of yourself that you want to manifest inside of the physical body while you're alive, to fully reign and take control over the body. That's what you are striving to do. This is your purpose in life. This is what's been, I hate to say it, was kind of misconstrued in Christianity. See, really, what y'all don't know is that Jesus did that. That's why they tell you Jesus was learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians. Because Jesus did that. That's why he resurrected. That's why he's God's son. But what they changed was that they didn't want everybody to know that that's you and you can do that too. See, they wanted to make y'all believe that it can't be done again. It was only going to be done by Christ. And I know some of y'all, that might sound crazy. What you need to do, you just need to press stop on the video. Get on up out of here. This ain't for you. You know, I'm not forcing nobody to watch this. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, this ain't for everybody. You know, so when you get this information, this is for you to build the spiritual body. And it's for you to become master of yourself, master of your mind, master of your lower nature. To not be ruled by the celestial influences. Well, the celestial influences are going to reign on you, but you're supposed to have a knowledge of them so you won't be enslaved by them. See, having a knowledge of stuff, you know, can prevent you from being enslaved by it. You're always going to be affected by the celestial energies, but you don't want to be a slave to your emotions. You don't want to be a slave to your everyday predicaments. See, that's what this knowledge is getting into, for you to know thyself, to know who you are, to know that you control, you know, you control your predicaments, you control your emotions. That's when your higher self, you know, reigns control over the physical body. You understand what I'm saying? When you have an overstanding of these things. And a good video that I saw a while ago, when I got hip to Anthony Browder, and I found Anthony Browder by way of the Underground Railroad, Brother Rich, and man, you know, and I've been watching him ever since. And he's also in the Hidden Colors and stuff like that. So all the people that you see speaking in the Hidden Colors, if some of y'all watch them Hidden Color movies, look them people up, because they all do lectures and they all have a lot of information to deliver. So But Anthony Browder has a video called, this is one of my favorite, this is one of my favorite lectures. He has a video you go look it up on YouTube. It's called The Secret of the Secret. And what he's talking about is, a while ago, some documentaries came out called The Secret. And what they was getting into was Hermeticism. And Hermeticism is Greek, is Greek time. It's the Greeks during the time of the Greeks when they came into Egypt, and they was dealing with that information, and so you have the Emerald Tablet. And they said the Emerald Tablet was the Book of Hermes. And Hermes is Tahuti. And Tahuti is a netter from ancient Egypt who is the netter, the divine aspect of divine thought, divine speech, and divine writing. And all of his books were supposed to have been lost. But this is supposed to be one of his books that that survived the ages, which is the Emerald Tablet, which I have a album that I made some years back that I'm going to put out, which I named the Emerald Tablet. So this Emerald Tablet is, if you really study occult, and I know some of y'all probably gonna study occult, and if you study anything about magic, the Emerald Tablet is the foundation of that. The Emerald Tablet is the foundation, and then the Emerald Tablet is speaking about universal laws, for you to gain knowledge and to know how to understand how these universal laws work. Therefore, it's like you kind of getting an understanding of the matrix, how the matrix functions. So therefore, you can navigate better through the matrix once you understand how the matrix functions. So you understand how these laws work. You learn how to work with the laws because you know how they function. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't have any knowledge of the Emerald Tablet, go check that out because that's a good book. So that's what The Secret is about. They're just teaching the laws of the Emerald Tablet. So what Anthony Browder did with The Secret of the Secret, he was telling you the secret of the secret, basically, that this is African knowledge that these people are speaking about. Of course, they're not going to tell you that, but him being who he is, that's what he did, right? Show you that this is knowledge of our ancestors. But I'm referring that video because it's a good video, and in that video, he said some books to get, and he said the secrets are in these books, right? So one of the books is Psycho-Cybernetics, which is was written by a plastic surgeon, and the plastic surgeon found out with his clients is that it was all about the self-esteem. It was all about the self-esteem with his clients, and the self-esteem and how they felt about themselves was really affecting their life, right? It was affecting their life, and so that's a good book to read. And another one is As a Man Thinketh. I'm reading this again. I'm kind of like every day, just because it's such a positive book. Yes, sir.
I want to see what hands also.
All right, hold on. I'm almost done. I'm gonna wrap this video up. So that's a good book. That's a good video to see. Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap the video up. So but going back, y'all. So you coming into this information, you're purifying your body. Just know this is what you walking into, and now you're accountable. Now this ain't about get a little information and you a cool guy now. You eating cucumbers and shit for lunch. Now you you ready to rock, you that dude now. No, now this is about building. This is about changing the world that's around you. Say hi, G.
Hi.
Okay. Let Daddy finish up. So this is about changing, the world around you. Getting hands-on inside the community, spreading the knowledge. This is what this is about. This is what you get this for. This is about knowing who you are, knowing thyself, and making a difference in the world. This is not about to please the ego. This ain't about pleasing the ego. This is about drawing down that high energy, connecting yourself with God and doing the work of God. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about. And before I go, I'ma just tell y'all kind of like how I came into knowledge, and how I started studying and wanting to become a better person. Like I said, since a youngin', I was always interested in Egypt. I always wanted to go to Egypt since a youngin'. But I didn't make the right decisions in life. I kind of was a product of my environment. So, I went through a dark time in my life. I went through a dark time in my life, and I was out here, in the streets, trying to make a living off marijuana. You know what I mean? And just smoking a lot, drinking a lot, and it came to me almost like losing my life, crashing one of my cars, being under the influence of alcohol. Up until that point, I was getting knowledge up until that point, but once that happened, that was kind of like it was it for me. That was like, that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the rebirth of me. So how it all started for me, I kind of was always interested in, in Egypt, like I said, but I kind of started wanting to, I started like watching like alien documentaries and alien videos and stuff like that. And then from there, I started seeing stuff about the Illuminati and, you know what I mean? And then from there, I kind of got a hold to some occult information. And from the occult information, I ran into a video from a guy named 13 Signs Astrology. And the 13 Signs Astrology dude, I was watching his video. I was like hooked on his videos. No, before the 13 Signs Astrology, I looked up and got a Jewel Pukram video. I think it's the 7 circuits of the brain or 12 circuits of the brain. And I was watching her videos, and she was talking about the vegan. She was talking about just the thought process, and talking about how who said we should die at 100 years old and all of this stuff, and just all of this information. Then I got hip to the 13 Signs Astrology. I'm watching all of his stuff. He's talking the vegan stuff and just bringing the occult information. Then from there, I looked up and got to a Signetter video. And from there, from the Signetter video, that's when it all came full circle to me, because in his stuff and what he do, he applied not only the occult but the African history and the African aspect of all of this. You know what I mean? I start watching him, watching Polite, and and it was just, I was just in from there. I was in from there, and I saw Shaka Amos, the video he did on Islam, and that's what really had me, the way he was just interested in waking his people up, and how he was so proud, of being a scholar, and just waking his people up. That did something to me, and it invoked the spirit in me, and I've been riding with that ever since. So that's how I came through to this, and that's how and through that channel there, that's how I got through to the ancestors and the elders, so, but it's not just about watching the video. You gotta have to want to, study for yourself and learn. You should be interested in this. Can't wait to, learn, whether it's watching a video, documentary, or reading a book. You should be interested in learning, and that's what's really going, that's what's really going, it's really gonna set you free. So that's about it. That's, I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to share that with you all. Just wanted to, let y'all know what this is about. This ain't about, finding some new cool information on you. Cool now. It's a job to be done. I have a job to do. I'm not, pointing the finger at nobody. It's a we conversation. This is for you to step up and do the work. We got to step up. We got work to do. You know what I mean? We got work to do. That's what it's about. So, till I see y'all again, peace. Have a wonderful day. Peace be with you and your family. Good vibes. Support me. Like my video. Thumbs up my video. Subscribe to my channel. Share my video. Get at me on Facebook. I be Heru, Grandmaster Saya. You know what I mean? Watch out for the music I got coming. I laid back on the music for a while. I've been so interested, into this knowledge, and not really liking, becoming woke, not really liking what's going on in the music industry. I ain't really had the desire, to do the music like that, but I'm doing the music. I'm doing the music. That's a part of me. It ain't left me. I'm still very, 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 very good. A lot of y'all don't know how good I am yet, because I ain't been doing it like I'm supposed to. But once I really get myself situated and really do what I need to do, y'all really gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really gonna see what I'm capable of. So, like I said, till we meet again, holla at your boy.